radio. Un corito no tan sano.
Welcome back. This is Shawn, the Party Man, Bow Radio Sports Grind. There's this guy named Forte. I don't know his first name. Been looking this up on the internet all day. The guy's original bet was $26 to win $557,000. He refused an $80,000 payout from the beginning of the World Cup. Me, I probably would have took it. This guy must have some money, or he's got balls bigger than Gandhi. He had a 7-leg parlay. Still got one more to go. He started out with the parlay of this. Manchester City to win the English Premier League. Check. Los Angeles to win the Major League Soccer Championship. Check. Golden State Warriors in the finals. Check. Kansas Jayhawks to win the National Championship. Check. Colorado Avalanche to win the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Check. AC Milan to win Series A. Check. He needs France to beat Argentina to win $557,000. He's probably going to take it ride or die because Vegas loves this type of shit. They love to see these Cinderella stories because it rarely happens. $26 to win over $500,000. I hope he wins it. For him, the guy's name's Forte. I don't know his first name. Hell of a matchup. Let's go Forte. I always root for the underdog. Let's go, sir. All right, moving on to the NFL football. So we start off Thursday night football. Baker Mayfield goes onto a new team, the Los Angeles Rams. They were without a starter. He comes in on 2 days of notice, and he beats the Raiders. I'm sorry, the Raiders, y'all been freaking terrible this year. He beats them 17-16. The Raiders were up 16-3 at halftime. They've been losing all year. Plus, I don't know, 5-6 games, 4 or 5-6 games, winning in the second half to go on to lose. Baker Mayfield leads the comeback, after being there for 2 days. The Raiders just can't do it, and good for Baker Mayfield. He's the guy that got drafted number 1 overall by the Cleveland Browns, and good for the Rams. They were in a 6-game losing hiatus. Baker Mayfield gets done 17-16 over their terrible, terrible coaching and terrible, terrible Raiders. You guys have had bad luck for years. Sorry to hear that. Moving on, this was one of the interesting games of the week, division matchup. We had Detroit Lions placing the Minnesota Vikings. They won 34-23. The Lions are now 6-7. The Vikings are 10-3. But Jared Goff went off for 330 passing and 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins, 425. Also 2 TDs. You had my boy Justin Jefferson, who's the best receiver in football. 11 catches, 223 yards. Minnesota's probably going to win that division. Detroit is still in the playoff contention, so we'll see what happens there. So going on from that NFC North matchup, the Bills out of the AFC East play the Jets. The Jets have a really, really, really good defense. They're struggling a little bit on offense. They have a really good backup. Mike White come out of the Jets. They beat the 7-6 Jets, who are in still playoff contention. But basically, this was like a defensive struggle. It was 7-0 at halftime. 2012 Bills, go Bills. Number 1 seed in the AFC right now. Good for them. This is my opinion. They're still the best team in football. The Philadelphia Eagles thrashed a division opponent, the Giants, 48-22. Philadelphia is now 12-1. Best record in football. If I wish I had this pick over again, I drafted Justin Herbert, who's a great quarterback in one of my leagues, but Jalen Hurts is killing it, man. He went off again for 217 passing, 2 touchdowns, also 77 rushing yards in a TD. They blew out the Giants 48-22, man. They're 12-1. I see them going to the Super Bowl. That's what I see. Good for the Eagles. Good for you guys, man. Miles Sanders, 144 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Also killed it in fantasy. The AFC North, we had the Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14. They're in first place with a 9-4 record. Their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he's been hurt with the backup quarterback. The reason the Steelers lost is Mitchell Trubisky is not very good, as you Bears fans know as well. J.K. Dobbins came back from a big injury. 120 rushing yards and a TD. Ravens squeaked that body, go 9-4, 16-14. The Browns versus the Bengals. The Bengals handled the Browns 23-10, even though they had their quarterback Deshaun Watson coming back after a rub and tug on the table once again. Jamar Chase went off for 10 and 119 and a TD. The Bengals are a very underrated team, looking pretty good right now. I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys are pretenders or contenders, man. It's any given Sunday. They won the game 27-23 over the Texans, but here's the thing. The Texans are the worst team in football. They barely beat them, and this is what's going to come down to you Cowboys fans. What's going to happen is it's all all going to be about Dak. Dak usually throws 2 or 3 picks a game or has 2 picks and a fumbles lost. They won 27-23 yesterday. The Texans led at halftime 20-17. Dallas scores 10 in the fourth quarter. They win. A win is a win. Doesn't matter how you do it. You get it done. Cowboys are still good. We will see what they do in the playoffs. More than likely, they will play Tom Brady and the Bucs in the playoffs. That division is so weak, they're still going to win it. Here's an upset that I didn't see happening. We had the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Tennessee Titans 36-22. Trevor Lawrence, 368 passing yards, 3 TDs. Wow. Titans, pretty good team out of the AFC South. Evan Ingram, he probably hasn't had this good of a game since he was with the New York Giants. 11 catches, 162 yards, 2 TDs. Good for him, good for the Jags. The only one out of that group that's going to make the playoffs is the Titans. This was an interesting AFC West matchup. The Chiefs, they beat the Broncos 34-28. The Chiefs are 10-3. Probably the second best team out of the AFC. Not really sure, man. It's been an interesting year. So Russell Wilson has done nothing. He signed a $1 billion contract. Not really, but he literally signed a $300-something million contract. Hasn't done anything all year. He had 247 passing yards, 3 TDs. Welcome back, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, 8 for 73 and 3 TDs. Good for him. Mahomes also had 352 for 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 picks. That was the only thing I think that was a little bit different in this game. It's hard to win the NFL when you turn the ball over. It's probably just a hiccup. It's also a division game. The Chiefs winning by 6 doesn't really matter. As long as they're not playing the Bengals. If they're at home in the playoffs, they should be fine. That's my Super Bowl pick. We'll see what happens with that. The Seahawks were running for their division, but they played the Panthers and lost to the 5-8 Panthers. The Seahawks dropped to 7-6. Geno Smith, 264 for 3 TDs and 2 picks. That was the difference in the game. You can't win NFL game or any professional sports for turnovers. The Panthers had 0 turnovers. That's why they won. This is one of my favorite teams, an underrated team with a third-string cornerback, kind of like Tom Brady. This guy named Brock Purdy went on to destroy the Bucs. The Bucs are going to make the playoffs of that weak division, but the Niners are the best defensive football. They won 35-7. Brock Purdy, like I said, the third-string quarterback, 185 yards, 2 TDs, killed it. McCaffrey, one of their best signings, 119 yards, a TD, 2 receptions, 34 yards, another receiving TD. The Bucs lost again because the turnovers. Like I said, 49ers have the best defense in football. Tom Brady also threw 2 picks. He got the fuck out of there. He didn't even take a shower. He didn't want nothing to do with it because he's tired of losing. He doesn't like his coach. They went from the second best offense last year to like number 28 right now. What he needs to do is, and this is what I think he wants to do, he wants his 8th ring. He needs to go to San Francisco. He's born from like less than an hour outside of there. The only thing Kyle Shanahan's missing is a QB. Brady still has it. This Brock Purdy guy is pretty good. We'll see. We'll see what they do in the playoffs. The 49ers look incredible. The Bucs look like garbage once again. Like I said, they'll win that division. You got to watch out for the 49ers in the playoffs. They have one of the best offensive-minded coaches. They have a really good team, really good defense. We will see what happens as we continue. The Chargers, one of my buddies' teams, they're 7-6 now. They played a really good Dolphins team, beat them, who are currently 8-5 now. Justin Herbert, 367 for 1 TD. He also had Mike Williams. Welcome back, Mike Williams, who stays on the injury list all the time. 6 catches, 116 yards. Keenan Allen, 12 for 92. They beat the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Probably going to make the playoffs. The Chargers are in the outskirts. We got a lot of football left. We have 4 games left. So see what happens. Monday night, we had the Pats, who are 7-6 now, still in the playoff race, beating the Cardinals 27-13, who lost their starter, Kyler Murray. They had their 18-string backup, been playing for 20 years, Colt McCoy. Let him a little bit, but the Patriots have a really, really good defense. We'll see if they make the playoffs. That pretty much wraps up your NFL week. This is Shawn the Party Man, Bow Radio Sports Grind. Till next time, guys.
Un corito no tan sano.
Yo, disfruta el sabor de siempre, con harina de maíz mazorca y dale, 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 dale. La vuelta al plato, cocina arepa, también empanada. Juega con tus hijos, ríe con tus panas, disfruta en familia, una cocinada. En tu mesa la silla nunca tan contada. Disfruta el sabor de siempre, con harina de maíz mazorca y dale, 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 dale. La vuelta al plato, siempre felices, siempre contentos. Dale la vuelta a todo momento, cocina cocina algo rico, algún invento. Este es tu día, yo lo presiento.
Tu harina de maíz mazorca de siempre, ahora con nueva imagen.
Para cosechar lanzadores hay que sembrar disciplina. Para cosechar jonroneros hay que sembrar honestidad. Para cosechar grandes ligas hay que sembrar valores. Porque los grandes ligas no crecen en el monte, se cultivan. Así como el mejor arroz. Arroz La Garza, patrocinadores de nuestros próximos grandes ligas.
Ahora vamos a hidratarnos con agua cristal en su nueva presentación de Tetra Pak. Agua cristal, menos plástico, más vida. Comparte, recuerda darnos tu like y activar la campanita para notificaciones.